Sir, I stand before this House today not just as a member of Parliament or as a representative of the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, but as a voice of the 8 crore people of Tamil Nadu who've been told in the midst of our state elections that their votes will count less and their voice in this Parliament will be diminished. And furthermore, it's really shocking that yesterday we are discussing the bill here. You've taken your own time to notify. And yesterday, when you've called us here, we are discussing the bill here, and then what is the need and what is the necessity to notify it yesterday? What is the meaning? What is the respect you have for this House? Sir, the government has introduced 3 bills in this special session, called in haste and time to disrupt the ongoing elections in my state and many states. And I raised to oppose these bills on the behalf of my party and my state. Let me start by saying that these 3 bills, disguised as if they are in support of the reservation of women, constitute the single greatest assault on Indian federal structure. Let me begin at the beginning, because this government always counts on the public not knowing the history. The history of the delimitation in India is at its heart the history of a promise made by the Parliament to the people of the southern states, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. 5 states which have resisted the onslaught of the Bharatiya Janata Party and have stood out as role models for inclusive development. The delimitation process began in 1952, soon after the Republic was founded. It was a constitutional solution to a demographic problem. How to balance the population growth with fair representation. All of us abided by the constitutional suggestions in Article 82 and 170. By 1973, when the 3rd Delimitation Commission had completed its work, there was a push for population control also. This national population policy was brought across the country to contain the growing demographic population, and it was exploding actually. So the first freeze on delimitation took place in 1976. This was fixed for a period of 25 years based on the 1971 census. Let us not forget that it was the Congress government, Madam Indira Gandhi's government, that recognized this issue and brought the bill. In the 1976 42nd Amendment, Parliament froze the total number of Lok Sabha seats to 543. This freeze was not a technical detail. It was a constitutional compact, a promise made to every family in India and South India that compliance with objectives of the national policy would not cost them their political voice. Over time, Southern India, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka and Andhra had begun to invest in schools, hospitals, women's health. We listened to the Union government's repeated call to control our population. We complied. Our fertility rates fell. Our families became smaller. In 2001, understanding that some states, especially southern states and other states like Punjab, had done a better job at these indicators, and some other states had to catch up. That time, there was a government, a union government, which listened to the voices of the people from the south. Yes, I have to give you credit when you deserve it. We are unlike you, always finding fault with us. When there is something to appreciate you, we always appreciate. So under the Vajpayee government, the Parliament extended that freeze through the 84th Amendment until after the first census following 2026. 24 more years of protection, because then the Parliament, in its collective wisdom, understood that this injustice had to be addressed. Why do we have to increase the seats now to 850? On what basis? The statement of the objective says that there is a change in demographic profile. Yet you are using a 15-year-old 2011 census data to conduct delimitation. You are contradicting yourselves. And 850 seats, most of the MPs, after making the seats 850, might not even get a chance to speak in this parliament for 5 years. Sir, I want to tell this House about a family in Tamil Nadu, a mother and a father, first generation literates. They had only 2 children, not 5, not 6, because they believed in family planning, because the government told them that was the right thing for the country, because they wanted their children to have a better life. That is the story of Tamil Nadu and the South Indian states. Today, Tamil Nadu's total fertility rate is 1.6, lower than France, lower than Australia, lower than United States, your friends. We have completed what the demographers call a demographic transition. Our population is stable. Our women are educated. By every measure of human development, Tamil Nadu is a success story the country has to be proud of. But what does this government say to that family in Tamil Nadu? It says, sorry, you made a wrong choice. You made a mistake by listening to us. You made a mistake by listening to this, because you cared about this country, because you put the country first. You have to suffer. We are going to reduce your representation. Uttar Pradesh's population has grown by 120% since 1971. Tamil Nadu's only by 15%. And contrary to what the Home Minister said yesterday, Clause 4 of the delimitation bill clearly states that the allocations of seats will be on the basis of the latest census figures. The Home Minister says one thing, the bill says another thing. Now, the latest available census is 2011. But again, according to the 2011 formula, UP gains 13 seats. Tamil Nadu loses 11 seats. But the Home Minister yesterday told us that by increasing 50%, Tamil Nadu will gain 39 seats, and which has 39 seats, will gain 59. Sir, our ideological leader Periyar taught us, justice is not giving every person the same thing. Justice is giving every person what they need and what they deserve. But unfortunately, your government thinks what it needs and what it deserves is what the whole nation deserves and what the whole nation needs. Other than this, let me state 2 critical legal issues present in the bill. The Constitution bill says that the delimitation will be based on such census as Parliament may by law determine. This is vague and leaves everything open. This literally means that whichever party has a majority in Parliament gets to decide which census it is used to draw the electoral map of this country. Today, you might choose 2011. Tomorrow, you can choose 31. And day after, it can be 1991. This shows a non-application of mind or a mind determined to push its own agenda on this country. Second, the Delimitation Commission will be chaired by a retired Supreme Court judge, appointed entirely by the Union government, with no consultation with the Chief Justice of India, no consultation with any state government, and no parliamentary confirmation. As per Clause 4(5) of the Delimitation Bill, the states get so-called associate members, 5 MPs and 5 MLAs, who are not allowed to vote, who are not allowed to sign the Commission's decisions, not allowed to do anything except sit and watch from the wings. The Home Minister said 50% increase across the state. I want to know what happens when the Delimitation Commission does not agree to the Home Minister's suggestion. Are you going to bulldoze the Delimitation Commission also, like what you are usually used to doing? Or will the government then challenge the orders of the Delimitation Commission? Because the Clause 10(2) of the Delimitation Bill 2026 says, after the publication of the orders by the Delimitation Commission, these orders cannot be questioned in any court. Where should we go seeking for fair delimitation in such a situation? Where is our guarantee? The Constitution, in Article 368, says that amendments affecting the representation of states in Parliament must be ratified by at least half the state legislatures, not just passed by Parliament. ratified by the states. If this government is so confident that the delimitation bill is fair, why don't you place these bills before the Tamil Nadu legislature, before the Kerala legislature, before the Karnataka, or before any legislature? If the government truly believed in cooperative federalism, the slogan they have used 1,000 times on different stages, why are you running away from the state legislatures? Have you even called for a meeting? Have you even consulted with the chief ministers? Have you even spoken to the states? Have you bothered? The government passed the Women's Reservation Bill in September 2023 with great fanfare. The Prime Minister called it the civilizational commitment. But they put a condition in this very act. Women's reservation would only work after the 2021 census, which is not scheduled to happen till next year. When was the 2021 census supposed to happen? In 2021. But what happened? You said because of COVID, you had to postpone the census. Then you said operational reasons we could not hold the census. And then by simply not talking about it, you did not hold the census. So the largest democracy in the world, the country that invented modern census, could not conduct census in this country. And now that it is politically convenient, they want to use 2011 census to redraw the map of the Indian democracy. They postponed the census and now they are rewarding themselves with the old census. Sir, I really admire. You're the only government which can turn its failure into a political advantage. Look at when this special session has been called in the midst of election of 5 states. And to speak about timing, because timing is everything in politics. And the timing of this bill are so nakedly, breathtakingly political, I'm almost impressed by the audacity of it. The entire opposition asked you to hold this session after the elections. You ignored it. And yesterday you told us that giving women their rights, bringing these bills are of utmost urgency. You cannot even wait for 2 weeks. But you came to government in 2014. The entire opposition has been requesting you to bring the Women's Reservation Bill. All the leaders in the opposition have written to you. Our leader, our Chief Minister, MK Stalin, has written to the Prime Minister saying that the bill should be passed. The DMK women's wing had a rally in Delhi asking for the bill to be passed. We've raised this issue thousands of times in Parliament. And for more than a decade, you did not see or understand the urgency. But today, you can't even wait for 2 weeks. And you want to believe us that you care about women's rights. Sir, this is not constitutional reform you're talking about. This is an electoral rescue strategy in these states because you are not going to do well in most of the states. The Constitution 106th Amendment Act of 2023, the Women's Reservation Act, was welcomed by most of the opposition parties here, and the DMK welcomed it. But we said it then, and we are saying it also now. Tying Women's Reservation Bill to delimitation is a trap. It was designed so that you could never have one without the other, so that the BJP can say, if you oppose delimitation, then you're opposing women's rights. If you oppose the destruction of Tamil Nadu's representation, you are against women. The BJP is using women of India as a human shield for its electoral ambitions. The women of Tamil Nadu, who have the highest literacy rate in India, who have the highest female workforce participation in the country, who have fought and won in panchayats, corporation councils and state assemblies, those women will not allow their cause to be hijacked. They deserve, and the women of this country deserve reservation today in the existing 543 seats without waiting for anything else. And I ask the Honorable Home Minister, why can you not simply amend Article 334A to remove the delimitation precondition? Why can you not give in give women one-third reservation in the existing constituencies through rotation starting from 2029 election without delimitation. If you really care about women's representation, the path is clear and simple. Why do you refuse to take it? Sir, the women of this country have been starved of political power for decades, for centuries. There's a loaf of bread in front of us. We are saying we are starving. Share it with us. But the government is saying, no, you cannot disturb this loaf. We cannot touch it. Wait, we will bake a huge cake and then we'll bring it and then give you a small portion of that.
Yes.
How does it make any sense? And is this your civilizational commitment? The women of this country have been working hard all their lives. They protected their families, they protected this country, they've sacrificed for the nation. And yet, all their hard work goes unrecognized and not respected because you want to tie it with delimitation. Sir, my friends across the aisle will accuse me of creating fear. But the real dangers of this bill are that our Constitution and Article 368 requires two-thirds majority in Parliament to amend it. Two-thirds. That's not a small number. It was designed to ensure that no single region, no single language group, no single community could change the fundamental rules of India without broad consent from across this great nation. But what happens after this delimitation? Right now, in this House, we have 543 MPs. Two-thirds majority is 362. Let us say the seats are increased to a maximum of 850 MPs as per the Home Minister's assurance, 50% increase across the states. Then the total number of seats would be around 816. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, these states together will hold somewhere between 400 to 420 seats in an expanded 816-seat Lok Sabha. Two-thirds threshold in an 816-seat House is 544 seats. Add the smaller BJP-aligned states like Gujarat, Himachal, or whatever, and the arithmetic becomes terrifyingly clear. The heartland can approach a constitutional amendment majority without a single vote from Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Punjab, Andhra, Telangana, West Bengal, or the Northeast. So this is your plan. The collective bargaining power of the southern states will be effectively reduced. Their voices are not even required for fundamental changes in the Constitution. This will create an environment where the policies of the union government will be pushed down on the people who believe that this nation should remain a secular democracy. This bill looks like a prelude and a facilitator for your future agendas. And moreover, the southern states will stand to lose out on the president's election as well. Article 55 governs presidential election vote values. Changing population definition here will alter the vote value of each MLA and MP in presidential elections, giving more electoral weight to MLAs from states that gain seats through delimitation. Directly affects the federal balance in the presidential polls. This bill, sir, is ambiguous in the least, misleading, and it has no clarity or purpose. Let us see an illustration through the Tamil Nadu share of seats in Lok Sabha. At present, we have 39 seats. As per these bills, which say 2011 census will be followed, it will become 32 seats, given there is no change to the 543 seats. If the maximum seats are increased to 850, as the Home Minister told us yesterday, Tamil Nadu will gain 48 seats. But if the seats are increased, if the seats are increased to 50% across the states, as Home Minister says, it will get around 59 seats. Now I ask the Home Minister, which of the above scenario will happen? whether 2011 census or it will be just increase based on 2011 census or what the Home Minister said. These are three different numbers. I would like to know, we like to have a clarity on which will happen. We want, and sir, we have seen in this house, in many debates, many promises have been made, many assurances have been given. And all that has melted into the polluted air of Delhi. Nothing has seen the light of the day. Sir, we request you to bring it into and make it a part of the bill, whatever assurance it is. And data says that this government, nearly 80 to 90% of the assurances given by this government in the floor of the House are never seen through. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin has built a joint action committee of democratic parties and state governments to fight this delimitation. We have held all-party meetings in Chennai, we've passed resolutions, we have written to the Prime Minister, we have demanded that Parliament not rush these bills through in a special session called without adequate notice, without standing committee examination, without even the courtesy of consulting the states whose future is being decided. The Prime Minister has not met us. The government has not convened a meeting in the National Development Council. The Interstate Council, which exists exactly for this reason, has not been convened. Instead, they called a special session of Parliament and scheduled these bills for passage in a matter of few days. Sir, this is not cooperative federalism. This is just calculative politics. In S.R. Bommai and versus Union of India 1994, the Supreme Court has stated that states have an independent constitutional existence and they have as important role to play in the political, social, educational and cultural life of the people of the Union. They are neither satellites nor agents of the center. In the Rameshwar Prasad versus Union of India 2006, the Supreme Court held that the basic principles of federalism is that the legislative executive authority is partitioned between the center and the states, not by any law to be made by the center, but by the Constitution itself. That is what the Constitution does. The states under our Constitution are in no way dependent upon the center for their legislative or executive authority. The center and the states are co-equal in this matter. Unfortunately, this government does not recognize the rights of the states. It simply thinks we are here to serve the masters in Delhi according to their diktat. The DMK is not here merely to oppose. We are here to govern, to protect and to propose. The Tamil Nadu and the DMK demand this government should implement the women's third reservation bill immediately in the existing 543-seat Lok Sabha through rotational reservation, de-link it completely from delimitation exercise. Then we can support this bill. The women of India should not be made to wait for a delimitation exercise that serves the BJP's political interests. Withdraw these three bills immediately and refer them to a joint parliamentary committee that includes representation from all states and all parties. Do not rush a 25-year electoral map through a special session in 48 hours. Convene a constitutional conference of all state chief ministers to deliberate on the delimitation framework before any legislation is enacted. India deserves that consultation. And our chief minister, our party president, sir, yesterday has promised the people of Tamil Nadu that not one seat will be lost on his watch. And yesterday, when the DMK floor leader mentioned in Parliament that our leader, MK Stalin, hoisted a black flag, you dismissed it by saying that black flag or blue flag does not matter. You brushed it aside. Yes, sir, you brushed it aside by saying a black flag or a blue flag does not matter. A black flag is a sign of protest. Yes. A sign. Yes. a sign to say we will stand up and fight and we shall not give up. And I like to remind you that a blue flag, sir, is the color Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar chose for his party flag. It is the same blue color which you dismiss, that the man who taught us that we should educate, agitate and organize, the man who wrote the Constitution chose for his flag this very Constitution you are trying to dilute, and we here are trying to protect. And sir, and the Prime Minister yesterday, when he saw us in black, he said that he was reminded of a black dot or tika, yeah, and it is there to drive away evil forces, evil eye or evil forces or whatever. Yeah. Sir, I am surprised that people here who are there to protect Hindutva were not reminded of Kali, the goddess, the dark goddess who wears black. Yes. The feminine power, the woman, the goddess who is supposed to drive away ego, arrogance and ignorance. And the same black color we have chosen to protest is the color of Periyar, our intellectual leader. He taught us self-respect. He taught us never to bow. He taught us fight till the end. And we will fight till the end. Sir, we oppose these bills in the name of our leaders, Aringer Anna, Kalingar Karunanidhi, who said, states are not a unit of the unitary state, but equal partners of a federation. In the name of our Chief Minister, MK Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin, who even in an article today has said that this bill should be withdrawn. A fresh bill should be introduced and placed in public domain at least for 3 months for wider consultation. He says, the moment calls for reflection, not expediency, deliberation, not haste. If the Constitution is to endure as a charter of trust, its amendment must be guided by principle anchored by fairness, restraint and fidelity to the Republic's enduring integrity. Tamil Nadu போராடும், Tamil Nadu வெல்லும். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.